Bad news in the eye drop world. At the end of December 2024, last year, another eye drop was recalled for a potential fungal contamination. And the reason why this one hurts a little bit more is that it actually came from one of the most popular, well-known eye drops and well-respected companies that make those eye drops. That's from Systane, made by Alcon. More specifically, their Systane Ultra preservative-free eye drop. Now this was voluntary, meaning that they found this possible fungal contamination. They recalled that certain lot number from the production line, and to this day of shooting this video, there hasn't been any reports of infections that have come from these eye drops. Now if you are someone that uses these eye drops and you have some of these, you might want to look on the side of your packaging and look at the lot number. The lot number that they recalled is 10101. So if you look at your eye drops, your individual eye drops, and they have that lot number, don't use those. Take them back to the store, get rid of them, trash them, make sure that you don't use them. Now for all the detail and informational release, I'll put that link in the description so you can check it out. Now the reason why this one hurts a little bit more, if you remember about 2 years ago, there was a slew of eye drop recalls, and one of them was EYELID artificial tears. And this one was pretty serious. In fact, I did a whole video about it. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check that out. But this certain eye drop was sold at Walmart and was reported to be causing possible Pseudomonas eye infections, which are very rare. In fact, I've never seen this type of infection. It was causing people to go blind and reported some deaths from it. So it was big bad news. Now, with EYELID artificial tears, even though it was sold at Walmart, I had never heard of the drop, never seen it before, never seen it on the shelf. I didn't even know that eye drop existed. And so I could kind of, I guess, brush it away as, hey, this eye drop was some unknown eye drop. And now we kind of have a recall that's coming from very well-known set of eye drops from a very well-respected company. So that's why it hurts a little bit more. Can't just brush it off now. And so what I wanted to do is for this video, not only to give you the information of the recall to make sure that you don't use these drops, but go over what are ways that you can actually know or best know if your eye drop that you're using is actually safe. So I want to give you some tips. Let's focus in. First tip, and I mentioned this in the other video a couple years ago, there really is a difference in packaging between a preservative-free eye drop and a preserved eye drop. And really that is a bottle eye drop is usually a preserved eye drop, and a preservative free might come in these little individual use vials where you actually twist off the top. It's a single use eye drop that you can use on your eyes, and then it's designed that you throw that vial away, and the next time you use an eye drop, use a fresh drop. That's made so you don't potentially contaminate or get any infection in the rest of the eye drops. Now that being said, they actually do make preservative-free eye drops in a bottle, but they actually have a special designed cap or lid that limits any kind of contamination getting back into the eye drop. And so if you are looking at a preservative-free eye drop over the counter and it actually has a bottle, make sure that they have the special designed lid to limit the contamination. Now in the case of the EYELID artificial tears a couple years ago, they were packaging the eye drop in a bottle and saying that it was preservative free. And so that was kind of one dead giveaway. And so it didn't have that special lid or anything like that. This is what's called a Frankenstein eye drop. And we're going to get to that here in a minute. Now in the case with the Systane eye drops, these were eye drops that were preservative free. They come in individual vials, and they still had a possible fungal contamination. Now the reason why that's scary, there is a fungal eye infection that you can get from this, and fungal eye infections can be really scary. It can definitely lead to blindness, can be very difficult to treat, and that's why it was serious, and that's why they recalled that lot number to try and make sure that wasn't going to happen to anybody. But if you are somebody that does use the individual vials, or if you have a clear bottle and you can actually observe the liquid, make sure that you just take some time and just look at the liquid. A lot of times the eye drops will be perfectly clear in there, or it might have kind of a white, milkier look to it. Those are usually the lipid-based artificial tears. If you notice some of the tears are a little bit discolored, meaning they maybe have a little bit more of a yellow, should be clear, but there's a little bit of yellow or green, or there's contaminants or little bits or anything floating in there, I wouldn't even take the chance. I would toss it. The other thing I would check is the expiration date. This is also one of the things where if it is expired, I wouldn't even take a chance. I would toss that as well. And if you are someone that is using a bottle version of artificial tears, take a second to look at the lid and the tip. If there's any discoloration there, yellow, green, maybe dirty, discolored, again, I wouldn't take the chance, toss it. Now, if you do use eye drops and understandably are worried about these eye drops if they might cause a possible infection, my last and best tip is you want to go to this website called eyedropsafety.org. Memorize that website. That website will give all the detail that you need to know about all of the over-the-counter eye drops. This is where you'll find if there are any alerts, recalls, FDA statements about that specific eye drop. If you want to know specific ingredients to that eye drop, it will list all the ingredients, all the preservatives that are in the eye drops. It actually links to a Daily Med website that actually gives you even more detail about that specific eye drop. And if you go to the website and go to the alerts, right on the top of the page right now is that Systane Ultra preservative-free eye drop recall. It also put the eye drops in different categories of potential issues, like the possible Frankenstein eye drop that we mentioned. If an eye drop is claiming to be preservative-free and they are in a normal type of bottle, there is a potential problem here with it being a Frankenstein eye drop. And they usually really are really good at keeping it up to date, and they have all the drops that are in there. Now, if you scroll on through, like I said, the top is that Systane Ultra Preservative Free, but if you keep going on the other alerts and recalls, you'll notice that a lot of them are off-brand eye drops, a lot that I haven't heard of or haven't even seen, and that's usually been the case with all of these recalls. And so usually I recommend people sticking with brand names, well-respected companies. That's usually the safe way to go. That's why this one stung a little bit more, because now we have a recall from a well-respected brand. Luckily, no reports of any eye infections from that lot number. But it's time to kind of buckle down on the eye drops. If you're using some, you want to make sure they're good. Take into account those tips, check them out on the eyedropsafety.org website, and just make sure you're doing okay, that they're okay to use. And like always, stay focused.